Let's go to the Pentagon right now. This is Brigadier General Patrick Ryder answering questions.
I'm not going to have any comments, nor am I going to speculate on that. As it relates to Ukraine, the war there continues. Russia's illegal occupation continues. And so we are not going to lose sight of that fact, and we're going to continue to work closely with them to provide them with the kinds of capabilities that they need to execute the operation that they planned and that they're conducting. In today's PDA, you see important capabilities that contribute to that effort. As their troops make contact with Russian forces and encounter Russian defenses, clearly there will be equipment that is damaged. There will be requirements to help them sustain the fight. And so you see things like ammunition, additional armored capabilities, capability that can be employed in breaching operations. But the bigger point here being is that regardless of the situation, the security situation inside of Russia, again, which is an internal matter for them to address, we're going to stay focused on giving Ukraine what they need to be successful in defending their country and taking back sovereign territory.
But were there any considerations inside the building to perhaps give Ukraine more so that they could take advantage of this particular unstable moment?
Again, when you look at the situation over the weekend, as I highlighted, our focus was on communicating with our allies and our partners to make sure that we had a thorough understanding of what was happening. But when it comes to Ukraine, we're going to continue to take the same approach that we've been taking. Let me go to Jennifer.
General Ryder, just to follow up on Tara's question, was this pre-planned that you would announce?
We will continue to monitor what's going on at the Pentagon as they answer questions there. We wanted to bring in Fred Fleitz to continue the conversation, former DIA intelligence officer and author of Putin's I'm sorry, we're going to get to Rebekah in just a moment, author of Putin's Playbook and his secret plan to defeat America, which is Rebekah Koffler, and senior fellow for the American First Policy Institute, Newsmax contributor Fred Fleitz. Fred, I want to get your thoughts first. Feel free to comment about what the general was saying or about what's going on over in Ukraine/Russia/Belarus.
Well, there were some interesting questions of him of whether the U.S. is providing additional weapons to Ukraine to take advantage of the opportunity caused by this so-called coup. And this is a real development that I think is going to hurt the morale of the Russian military. It's going to boost the Ukrainian military. It's going to undermine Putin's authority. And, you know, I'm really concerned about people who say that this is a false flag operation or that this has been staged. There's zero chance of that. Putin would never have engineered something like this that would do such enormous damage to his leadership, to his chances of winning the war in Ukraine. This was a catastrophe for him. I think he'll survive it. But, you know, what exactly Prigozhin was up to? Was it a real coup? Was he trying to send a message to Putin? I don't know. But I think I can say with absolute confidence, and I'm also speaking for General Keith Kellogg, this was not a false flag operation. This was not a trick.
Well, Rebekah Koffler seems to disagree. I know that. You've been pretty adamant that you think this is a false flag. You think Putin and Prigozhin working together, and you believe that Putin is actually strengthened by this, and your proof is the fact that Prigozhin is still alive. And if he remains alive, then you think your theory is correct.
You just nailed it. With all due respect, have high respect for Fred, but again, I disagree. And here's why. Again, Prigozhin has safely made his way where? To Belarus. Lukashenko and Putin are like that, fellow dictators that, correct, fellow dictators, you know, that also strategic allies. Lukashenko is pretty much, you know, in charge of a client state. Belarus is the client state of Russia. They're in the Union. It's called actually in 1999, they stood up the Union. And so how come then Lukashenko didn't just give away Prigozhin to Putin? Putin hates traitors.
Well, it's Tuesday. If Prigozhin turns out dead in a week, do you change what you're saying?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. But let me just continue. So
Sure.
Lukashenko actually today said, that he talked Prigozhin back away from the brink. Okay. This is all theatrics.
Okay.
This is all theatrics. what is it in it for Lukashenko, right? But the situation that right now we have Prigozhin with Putin's nukes and the Wagner Group that Putin just today said, oh, the Wagner Group, okay, you can go to Belarus as well. How convenient. There's a battle-hardened mercenary force right now on NATO's eastern flank, building up a strategic reserve, and there's a talk of the second front.
Okay.
So that's the outcome of this fake coup.
Wish we had more time. Rebekah Koffler, Fred Fleitz, thank you very much, both of you. All right, we wanted to continue our conversation with Rebekah Koffler and Fred Fleitz about whether this is a false flag operation going on with Prigozhin and Wagner over in Ukraine/Russia, Belarus. Fred, why don't you take the other side? Rebekah was giving reasons why it could be just that, a false flag to create a presence in Belarus. What are your thoughts on that?
Look, Rebekah's a brilliant analyst. I don't mean to disagree with her. But I tell you, I've spoken with a number of experts. This attempted coup or uprising, it involved the killing of Russian soldiers when helicopters were shot down. It did serious damage to Putin's leadership. It is impossible to believe that this was staged as some type of false flag operation. And my friend Peter Hoekstra, and he said this on Newsmax over the weekend, former House Intelligence Committee chairman, he doesn't think the Belarus president actually negotiated this. He thinks President Xi negotiated it because the optics of two Russian military forces fighting each other is bad for Russia, it's bad for China, and it would be a big boost for the West. China wants its conflict over in a way that is to the advantage of Russia and Putin, and that would not happen if there was this infighting between these two Russian forces.
And we have that soundbite if we want to play it right now.
I don't think we have time.
Oh, we don't have time? Okay, so let's just get your response. So he's saying, Pete Hoekstra, he's saying that China's also involved in this, President Xi, because he sets to benefit as well. What do you think about that?
Again, with all due respect, I disagree with Fred. And by the way, it's totally fine. I'm a big girl. It's fine that he disagrees with me. China is actually winning the war. As long as Russia and Ukraine are in a fight, China benefits. It's counter to China's interest to negotiate peace. Here's why. You know, there's a famous Chinese proverb, a wise monkey is sitting atop of the mountain and watching two tigers fight ferociously, and it's watching how is that going to end, because China and Russia are not real allies. You see, it's just excellent for Xi to watch United States and Russia deplete their respective
that's a
combat
great point.
arsenals, right? Because China is getting ready to invade Taiwan in the next couple of years, and how convenient that we would run out of our long-range missiles. What war games have shown in a matter of days if we go to support China.
Wow.
Okay?
They're very interesting. So the two tigers there, the United States.
And we could keep these two tigers going because they both have credibility and viewpoints. And we'll see how this plays out. Rebekah Koffler, Fred Fleitz, thank you very much.
Good to be here.